The three approved vaccines, their studies did not specifically look at individuals with liver disease. But there is no reason for us to believe that the vaccines would not be effective in people who have liver conditions. And so the consistent advice from all professional bodies is that people with chronic liver conditions should take vaccination according to their clinical group. Liver trusts have had some inquiries from patients who are concerned about a theoretical chance that having a vaccine might increase the activity of their autoimmune hepatitis. I would reassure people that to date there have been no clinical or scientific reports of this happening. Clearly the available vaccines have been very extensively studied in order to get their licenses, and there are ongoing safety monitoring studies happening across the country to look for any evidence of adverse reactions. So I would really encourage people with long-term liver conditions such as autoimmune hepatitis to take up the vaccine when it is offered to them. The number of people in the population who've been vaccinated gradually increases until we get to a point where the virus is really brought under control. Then there still remains a risk of acquiring the virus, passing it on to others, or to developing serious disease. Now, we know that the available vaccines in the UK are very, very effective at dramatically reducing the chance of developing serious Covid-19 disease, where you can be hospitalized or made very sick from it. But until we reach this point where a very large proportion of the population has been immunized, we would still recommend that people classified as clinically extremely vulnerable should continue to shield. And the groups, as far as liver disease are concerned, that applies to are people who either had a liver transplant or are on the waiting list for one, people who are taking immunosuppressive medicine, particularly for autoimmune hepatitis, or thirdly, people who have decompensated cirrhosis, and that means very advanced liver disease with jaundice, bleeding from internal veins known as varices, or the development of abdominal fluid known as ascites, or finally, in those categories, people who have hepatic encephalopathy. So all of those groups of people are considered extremely vulnerable, and even after vaccination should continue to shield. Importantly, I would emphasize that advice has always been advisory in terms of how strict you are with the shielding. But importantly, I think for everybody, we should stress the importance of limiting social contacts, of maintaining social distancing, of doing basic hygiene measures such as frequent hand washing and wearing a mask in public, particularly where it's not possible to socially distance. General questions about the COVID-19 vaccine. There are some excellent sources of information. The British Liver Trust, both on their website and through their helpline, are a very reliable source of information, and that guidance is frequently updated. There's also an excellent NHS COVID-19 vaccination hub website, which will again be frequently updated with the very latest information. I would caution against picking up sort of non-specific advice on the internet, particularly through social media. There's a lot of comments on Facebook or Twitter and other social media where it often secondhand, unreliable information. And so I would really encourage you to go to the verifiable evidence-based sources of information such as the NHS and the British Liver Trust.